Welcome to the Kingdom Mini, a compressed version of my infamous Kingdom base design that you all seem to love. I have put a lot of time and effort into creating a smaller and more affordable version while still keeping some metas and Kingdom features. The compound might look like you remember it, but it's smaller and has a lot of new and updated angles to try and follow the meta. The open core has 30 boxes and turrets defending it from every angle raiders might come from, and the roof has unbreakable turrets and some amazing bedrooms for you to easily defend your home. Without further ado, let's start the tour, and like always, I hope you all enjoy. So once we are ready to take a look at the Kingdom Mini version, let's start at the external TCs. For externals across the base, and Upkeep can be found on screen right here. It is slightly expensive, but with a mini China wall, that's probably what you're gonna get. 4 boxes in here as well, so we can re-gear in case we do need it, and head inside of this scary little gatehouse right here. Getting inside, we have a standard gatehouse with peaks leading outside and peaks leading inside as well. Go into our actual compound, which is guarded by turrets and plenty of angles and peaks to defend our base from. We can go up right here as well to access the top layer of the China wall, with more peaks leading out right here, a nade shoots down here, peaks for fobs and Hali right here, and so much more, as well as a nice little window facing inside. We got one door in our compound, so let's run around until we eventually manage to find it, and then go in through our front door, which is right here. Nice little peeks into our compound right here for early game peaks and retakes in case we do need them, and then go through the single door airlock right here with retakes down here, as well as behind the workbench if we are using a tier 2. First floor has plenty of furnaces, electric and normal, and everything we need to get our wipe started until we can build the open core. Upkeep is shown on screen right here, not being too bad for such a massive chunker of a base. Heading upstairs, we obviously got the retake right here for our single door, as well as a beautiful compact open core. One turret right here to guard the hallway both up and down, as well as turrets up here to guard the rest of the open core from both sides, meaning we are fully secure in case we are to get raided. Continue up the jump ups right here with a nice little window here, and as you can see, this turret will guard this hallway fully, both top and bottom. Workbench 3 there, lockers, everything else that we might need. Some sneaky little shotgun traps here, mainly placed so in case you do close all of these doors, your turret will still have visibility around this area. There's 2 turrets up here, obviously, one there and one there. They will have good visibility, and the shotgun traps are sneaky and pretty good. This will take us to the roof, but we're not ready to go there just yet. Retakes for the shooting floor here as well on both sides, with kits in here that we can re-gear with. Nice little pixel peaks around the shooting floor, which is the beauty that we started with the Kingdom back in 2021, and we're going to keep using it. Nice little single door peak here as well. The peaks on the shooting floor aren't all that great, but with this big of a base, you shouldn't be stuck on shooting floor during a raid. We also have some nice little bedrooms on the shooting floor with retakes in case our base is opened up, as well as embracers leading both in and out. Heading up to the actual roof of the base, we have 2 entrances right here, as well as some cheesy little retakes right here. But the roof can basically defend itself entirely, as we have unbreakable turrets and enough SAM sites to fully defend it, as well as 4 bedrooms on top of the roof with nice little peaks right here where you can see them, but they will struggle to see you. Kits inside of here, kits inside of here, and vending machines that can be reachable by drones so we can sell all of our stuff. Without further ado, stick around to learn how to build this thing, and I'll see you guys in 30 days, and let me know what type of base you would like to see me build next. I'm Vertzo, and I truly hope you guys enjoy. Okay, so once we're ready to start building, we'll start by building down 3 foundations right here, and then box in this, and put a double door right here, as well as a ceiling right here. TC goes in the left hand side corner. We can put down 2 double doors on these frames right here and a double door right here. This will create a nice little airlock so we can't get deeped on even in a starter without triangles. I'm going to remove all the doors for now though. We'll then add on more foundations before I start securing it, but feel free to secure these 3 triangles if you want to get your starter down right now. We'll have a window right here, a half wall, a low wall, single door, and a double door. Everything else can just be fully walled in, just like so. Fill every single frame with double doors. This will be a jump up, and don't forget to put a ceiling on top of everything. We'll add a frame right here, and then put down these 3 walls, another jump up right here, as well as a ceiling. This will be for more boxes in the future. With that being said, we'll start decorating the room as soon as we get some stuff in here. First of all, you have to make that a square floor inside right there. And right here, we can place this and this to get a triangle frame in the TC room. And once our starter is fully finished, we'll head on inside the single door and we're greeted by both a peek down right here for raid defense, as well as this window can be removed to defend from there. Just keep in mind that if you do remove that window, raiders can obviously shoot straight in if you can't control it. We also got a double door here to create a nice little airlock. Bunch of furnaces right here, 3, 6, 9, 12 electric furnaces, and just enough boxes to get our wipe started. But it is plenty of size and feel free to just build this however you would like. I really like this retake right here though, and a locker as well just to keep us safe. Feel free to just place bags wherever you see fit. But with our starter being fully finished, I'm going to equip symmetry around the whole thing and upgrade the entire base to high qual. Simply to make it harder for us to get raided early game. Make sure the ceiling is upgraded as well. This can just be upgraded to metal, but the ceiling should be upgraded to high qual. Same with this door, can also be upgraded to metal, and you should try to get this door armored as soon as possible. Everything inside of here should also be upgraded to metal, as we don't want any splash damage whatsoever. So upgrade every single wall and frame and everything you can see upgraded to metal. So with our starter being fully finished, we're only missing one very important thing, which of course is a repair bench in the jump up so we can skin our kits to all the beautiful camo kits that's so balanced in the game. With that being said, we're good to continue on going. The first thing we're going to do is just add triangles all the way around the base, just like so. So just simply spam down triangles as much as you possibly can. Don't forget to close your front door. With that being said, we're going to honeycomb everything besides the front side because we need to do that a little different. So just honeycomb this just like so, all the way around it. This will also be honeycombed, but we'll just leave that for now, just to make sure that we can honeycomb the actual loot rooms to make sure everything is strong until further ado. And with that being said, the only thing we need to do is the front side of our base. Now we're going to add a window right here and a window right here. Half wall, remove, and a roof. Half wall, window frame, and a ceiling, and remove this one. And I forgot to add that on this side. So at this point, people can obviously go in here with C4s, and to prevent that, we're going to add down a low wall, meaning they can obviously splash it through there and break everything, but at least they can't go in C4. Nonetheless, raiders would likely just go through the door path that we're going to add by adding down this window and this double door, because the door path will by default be more expensive than the wall. But highly recommend get this wall armored as soon as possible to prevent raiders from wanting to exploit it being cheap. Inside of here, we can put down 2 small boxes with simple regear kits, just remember to lock it, and then we'll add embracers inverted like this so we get a nice little peek out of it. Add down a double door right here and 2 garage doors right here, just so this window can't be broken during a raid and they can see right in. We'll also add an embracer as well as a normal window, but you can also use armored if you want. I would recommend putting the windows on these as well, just so raiders can't camp you right here and just shoot you right as you exit your base. So remove the windows at your own cost during raid defenses to defend your home. But with that being said, our entrance is fully finished. So once we are there, it's time to honeycomb in the rest of these as well. Now before we seal it, I would recommend upgrading all the ones facing into metal if you have the resources. It's not really necessary, but it will help you a lot with splash damage during a big raid, because not your whole base will crumble falling just because you're getting raided, as well as upgrading all of the ceilings to metal if we can reach them. So if we still have access to seeing all of this, highly recommend upgrading it all to metal, just to prevent people from splitting your base in half with just a few rockets, as well as these right here and this foundation as well as the door right there. And with that being said, our starter is finished and it's time to get the external TCs down. I'm going to equip symmetry on all 4 sides, and we'll start by building out with twig. We want to build out 8 foundations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Break all the ones all the way back, and then build triangles all the way back until we hit the base itself. And then we'll add down 3 more on this side and 3 more on this side as well. and upgrade all the ones facing the base up to metal. These will be very hard, also known as impossible to replace in the future. So if you can upgrade them to high qual, that would also be recommended, at least the center ones in case you are getting raided. But obviously it does get expensive, but just hope that you don't lose them during a raid. Next up, we'll build out 2 foundations like so. This is where the China wall will begin, so we'll upgrade these 2 to metal, and same with these ones. And then this is where the entrance to our base will be, so we'll upgrade this one as well. And then we'll upgrade this one right here too, just like so, giving us a pretty big gatehouse slash entrance, but you'll see it when it all makes sense. We'll upgrade the front ones to metal, and all these other ones in the center can be upgraded to stone, besides this one. That is obviously the connector to the China wall. This should look like this across your entire base. So once we have that down, I assume we want to get our externals down. We'll start by building out 3 foundations and 3 triangles as well. Corners will be upgraded to metal, and center will be upgraded to high qual. We can then box in all the corners as well as the ceiling, and upgrade the ceiling to high qual, and these 2 walls to high qual as well. Now I'm going to remove this right here to make us fully disconnected from our base and put our TC inside. And once we got our TC inside, we'll start by placing a window on it like so, as well as honeycombing the top as well. All we gotta do now is connect it back right here. Don't do that, but upgrade this so we can connect it back to our base. This will be walls, and that'll be a nice little ceiling, and then connect it just like so, making us fully connected on all 4 sides of our base. Now, the reason we do honeycombed externals in such a big base is because most likely you're playing a server with a lot of competition, meaning people are going to build their fobs roughly here, and when they want to get your build priv starting right here, it won't just be 2 C4s or 4 C4s to get it. They will have to go through both a metal wall and an armored one to gauge your TC on one side. But let's make sure we seal that back up. So with that being said, we can start by getting the windmills down so we can get them powered up. We'll build these 4 stories tall. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Put down 2 triangle frames as well as a windmill on top of all 4 of them, just like this. Meaning we now have the power to start fueling up our base and get everything set. But let's go back inside of here. I really like putting beds inside of these, as you can have some sneaky little bedrooms outside of your actual base. So put down 2 beds inside, as well as 2 bamboo shelves to store kits and ceiling mats, and put down small boxes inside of them. As well as, of course, a garage door. Unless you have armor doors, I would highly recommend that. But with that being said, all we gotta do now is connect these so they do not decay. So connect them basically just like I did right there, just to make sure that we will not be decaying. And with that being said, let's finish the China wall just to make it so the TCs are basically connected. Even if one breaks, they shouldn't be able to build too close. We'll start by building out 2 foundations right here and 2 triangles, and then 2 foundations right here and 2 triangles, making sure that we have this specific footprint. That means we are well on our way. Now, before we start building up the open core, I would like to get at least a few turrets down. So we'll leave the China wall open for now, but I would highly recommend placing down these 4 turrets if you are able to at least have some defense while your base looks like this. And obviously just connect them to the battery that we placed right here earlier. We'll have better battery placement real soon though. But this means that we should be able to expand upwards without too many problems if we can get at least 2 of these turrets down. So let's head back inside and turn symmetry off and start building the base up. This right here is going to be our first battery. So I'm going to upgrade this foundation to high qual and these 2 walls as well as the ceiling, just like so. Besides that, this is going to be 2 stories tall. Same with this and this. Leave this open for now. Build these and these and these and these, as well as this and that right there. While everything is 2 stories tall, all we gotta do is figure out this triangle very shortly. I'm just gonna start by placing down my battery inside of here that we can wire up to a windmill outside right away. Make sure to put a window on it when you're finished. We'll then make these 2 walls facing in. If we haven't upgraded this to metal yet, upgrade it and make it face in. If you already upgraded to metal facing this way, just simply leave it. It doesn't mean that much. It's just the case that someone is in your staircase right here soft siding, they could get in. But if they're soft siding your open core, you're most likely fucked already. Make sure to put down this wall as well, these 2 walls, and these 2 walls as well. In the open triangle, we'll add a half wall as well as 2 full walls and add this down as well. And with that being said, we can honeycomb this in like so and leave it like this for now. This is going to be where the next battery goes within our open core. So put the battery inside right there. Make sure to put a window on it, just like so. And this last triangle right here will be for one of our many turrets that's going to be inside of here. So you might as well toss it down right away. Meaning that you could technically leave your open core like this for now, and it would be safe because at least we have a turret guarding our drop down. This is obviously going to be the jump up to get to the next floor. And then we'll add down these half walls right here, as well as a connector in the middle right there. A ramp right here, as well as a ramp right here, but I'm being blocked to place it because of this. But there we go. Let me just replace my lights downstairs. So once we're back up in the open core, I'm going to place a temporarily twig floor here to make it easier to build. We'll also add down the ramps right here, which will be for boxes. Make sure to fit them inside of every single loot room that we have built. Switch over to twig and start by adding down twig floors, just so we can get a triangle outside on all 4 sides, and then we can remove the twig themselves. And with the twig we placed outside, we can now add triangles inside of the actual open core. Just make sure you build them correctly. Once we have them, we can upgrade them all to metal, and then make sure that we remove the external twig that we placed outside on both sides of the open core. I'm switching over to metal, and we'll start by adding down some door frames, as well as a roof on top of them that I would highly recommend upgrading to armored if we are able to. This will obviously be a double door going into the open core, and this will be a window facing into it as well. With that being said, we'll put a floor right here, upgrade it to armored, a double door right here, as well as of course a jump up right here, which will take us to the next floor. Put a floor through the middle, add down a wall right here facing into the open core on those two. On these two, we'll add down a frame and a ramp that'll become a peak, as well as a nice spot for our turrets. But for the time being, I would recommend making them wood walls that we can soft side out later, just to make sure raiders can't land on your roof in a mini and kill you inside of your open core if you choose to move up too early. On this window, we'll of course add an armored window, as well as an embracer. If you remove the window, this turret will obviously be able to shoot people in your staircase, so put a python or a bolty in it if you can. So with that being said, let's go back inside. Oh, let me just replace that. And all we gotta do now is place some boxes. And with our boxes being placed in every single loot room, we have plenty of storage. We now have 2 decisions for these 2 ramps we placed right here. We can build them like this, as I'm doing right now, and then put down a triangle floor on top of it, giving you a lot more space as well as more drop boxes, but it also makes it a little wonky. Or you can pretend like those 2 don't exist and just fully enclose it like that. That is obviously entirely up to you, but personally I like having some extra drop boxes, easy to automate and everything, so I'm gonna personally build it like this. Now, because Rust is so dark, I will have to place my funny modded ceiling lights to make sure we can actually see while we're working in here, but just look past them. But that's the open core basically finished. All we gotta do is add some garage doors for the actual loot rooms, as well as 2 garage doors right here. And as you can see, the turret up there will guard your entire hallway. There is also plenty of space right here to add on even more drop boxes or other boxes that you might need, for example for automation. In the jump up right here is where we're going to put our workbench level 3, just like so. And on this jump up right here, I will personally put down a nice little locker. And underneath this jump up right here, which I can't build in because of this battery, I am going to put even more drop boxes. Make sure to replace your battery afterwards, or else your turrets will not be turreting. So with the battery replaced, I'll replace my double door as well, giving us plenty of space and a spacious open core. All we gotta do now is place down the turrets. Now, if you want to speedrun place them, you could honestly just place down this metal floor right here, and then just literally place down the turrets inside of it like so. It will guard both your roof as well as your open core, so it's not a terrible idea. Remove these, and as you can see, these turrets will guard each side of the open core, at least parts of it. That's why we have this right here. But if your base is fully open from this side, which is one of 4 sides raiders will raid from, you will have turret coverage guarding your loot rooms, as well as this one inside of here. That is why it was important that we armored up these walls, and it's important that we do it to these as well, as we obviously don't want to lose our batteries. So with that all upgraded, we're good to seal it back up. Now, raiders aren't even going to see this from the outside, but I would highly recommend upgrading these centerpieces, same as we did downstairs, all upgraded to metal, just like this. So everything raiders can't see, we should upgrade to metal. Everything else leading outside will be leaving stone, simply to make sure build cost is not too excessive, but at least it is very strong. And then with all of that being upgraded to metal, all we gotta do now is upgrade the rest. I'm gonna use symmetry for that because we do need to make sure that we add floors here too. If we have an excessive amount of resources, I would highly recommend doing the connectors as metal. And with that done, all we gotta do now is place down a bunch of stone walls facing out. Now, this is not what it should look like on a normal server. I have a feeling that's because of the server I'm on. But if it does do it in Rust now, no, it was just the server. But there you go. So all we gotta do now is metal every single ceiling, and our roof is looking pretty good. Now we'll seal in this floor as well before we start building out. I'll be using symmetry on 2 sides for the time being. First thing we're going to do is box in the turrets like this and just put a double door frame on it. Still having plenty of visibility, it's just for stability. Now right here is where we're going to build out to our shooting floor on this side and that side. So you come up to jump up right here. You want to go this way and this way. So we'll have a double door, double door, double door, a window right here, a window right here, and a window right here. Upgrade these 2 walls as well with a half wall, frame, and a frame. And same as downstairs, put a nice little box inside of here. We'll then put an embracer right here, embracer right here, and an embracer right here. But on this side, I have seemed to forgot to build what we are supposed to build. Make sure to box in those 2, making it fully enclosed. And then put the half walls, as well as the window. And of course, do not forget to put your small box inside of here too. Embracer here, and per downstairs, we'll add windows and remove them towards the situation we are in. Add a double door here, and 3 garage doors right here. Obviously, this garage door is not very important, but it might help you with splashes during a raid. We'll then enclose that like so. Everything else we are going to leave open until further ado. But I'm going to disable symmetry here, and we'll start by adding a wall right here, a door right here, and this. And at this point, I'm upgrading every single roof piece to high qual just to make sure top downs are nothing that's going to happen to us. In the center right here, we're going to just pancake layer it like so and put a nice floor on it. Add a window here, and 2 double doors right here that'll take us to the roof. Now, I would highly recommend placing the doors in this angle, making sure that the turret is fully facing them. So when raiders drop down your hatch, assuming they are top downing you, they are going to be instantly met by a turret, giving you at least a little while to actually defend your drop down. Upgrade this one to armored. So that is the way to get to the roof, and we're gonna leave the base like this for now. If you're scared of getting top down at this rate, I would just recommend putting 2 turrets on the roof, or at least one or 2 turrets. You can move one of the ones looking at the open core if you don't have the components yet. Just make sure that your roof is safe. But at least we have something to defend from at the top, with peaks leading all the way out everywhere, and as well as the opportunity to move into our open core if we wish to. Now, we're nowhere near done yet, as we still need a couple of lockers. For this specific build, there's a couple places we can fit them. So on this specific side of the base, we're going to put a locker on this wall right here, and then just keep placing beds. 1 bed right here, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 5, and 6. Giving you 6 beds on that side of the base, and don't forget to add down door frames everywhere as well. And on this side, we'll place a locker right here, and then build a couple of beds. Not 6, but we will be able to fit 3 of them. I wouldn't fit the 4th one, as it can be pretty hard to jump, but if you don't worry about this, then you could definitely fit the 4th one, giving you a total of 10 beds to this area. So at that point, all we gotta do now is place the garage doors on every single frame. Obviously, it's not guaranteed which side of the top down the raiders are going to go through, assuming they go through those doors, so I would just recommend placing doors everywhere. Just also keep in mind, placing every door will fuck with your turrets as well. So what you could do to prevent it from being as bad, you could place some low walls right here to at least give the turrets a little bit of visibility. So just like that, at least this turret has full visibility all the way around, making it a lot harder for raiders to actually walk around your core, assuming that every door is closed. So that door is closed and raider turrets can't see, it does have the visibility to see there, as well as all the way over here where that turret is. So do that to your very own liking. And because we already did that, what you can also do, which is going to be even better, is squeeze in 2 shotgun traps right here, giving you some nasty little angles when raiders are running around your shooting floor. They'll get absolutely obliterated by your shotgun traps. And at that point, this floor is completely finished, and it's certainly time to start building up our shooting floor as well as our China wall. So let's head on outside and get to it. We're going to build the China wall before we build the Widegaps, as we should be stronger than this, as it's a very weak base as of right now. So once we are ready to start building the actual compound, we'll start by adding down 2 double door frames right here, 2 windows right here, and 2 right here. Make sure to put a ceiling on it and upgrade everything to metal. Put a double door facing in and out, as well as windows facing in and out, and then bracers doing the same. The one facing in, I like doing inverted. We'll then add a large box right here, another one right here to put kits, drop loot, ceiling mats, and everything you might need. If you do it wrong, you might have to pick up the boxes and go again, just like I apparently just did. So place the boxes as far back as you can, and then like that. Make sure to lock these boxes as well, so raiders can't just walk in and take from them. Right here, we're going to add a half wall and just continue with the peak we have been using throughout the base. It is a very strong peak and very easy to defend from. So just like that, we have a nice little peak towards our actual external, but at that point, we definitely need to rotate it like this to make a nicer angle facing out. But per usual, make sure to add the embracer. Now for this specific gatehouse, we don't necessarily need to place the box inside of here, but raiders might take control over your gatehouse and steal from these boxes right here. It is very unlikely they'll break into these, but I would recommend upgrading them to metal simply to stop soft-siding little grubs from stealing from them. So with that being said, let's continue on building. This right here is going to be a wall on both sides, as you can see right here, and so will this right here and this right here. We'll then add half walls inside of all of the squares, and it should look something like this when you look at it from here. So gatehouse, full wall, 2 half walls. This little area right here, we're just going to fully honeycomb, but make sure they're facing against each other and not like this. I'll show you why in a second. So when I build it like this, as you can see, it actually completely closes the gap to a tiny little pixel. But if you rotate this the other way around, the gap becomes way bigger. We obviously don't want a gap that people can sit right outside of and shoot into my compound and bait my turrets. So to not have that happen, simply make them hard side against each other. And if you make them metal, all 4 of these, the gap will be completely hidden. But in my opinion, upgrading this to metal is very expensive. I've done it many times before. At that point, we'll put a ceiling on top of this that will obviously upgrade to metal. And then windows right here facing out. Same with this side right here, as well as embracers facing out as well. But before we upgrade them, sorry about that, we have to make sure that we add the frame right here to continue with the great peaks facing in and out. So add this peak before you do anything, and then we can add down these roof pieces right here and upgrade them to metal, as you can see right there. So the peaks are good and we're good to continue on building. So to do such, we're going to start by adding a ceiling right here. And then you have to make a decision. As of right now, we have a good peak right there through the bottom one, but we also have a pretty good one up top. Now you can choose yourself if you want to enclose this to make it so raiders can barely see you, as you'll see their legs, but they will not be able to see you. But with this one, you obviously have a lot more visibility facing all the way across, so choose to your own liking which one you prefer. Personally, I will be leaving it open, just adding a single door on top of it. By adding this single door, you still remain a lot of the peak across the whole thing. And it also gives a great opportunity to place flame turrets and other things inside. But at this point, we're good to continue up. So we'll start by adding down half walls all the way around this, as well as a ceiling like this, which will mainly be for turrets if we are on a server that can have a lot of turrets. On top of the peak right here, we'll start by adding down these 3 frames right here that can be left as stone, frame here upgraded to metal, and these 3 roof pieces, as well as a physical roof and a window, making a pretty nice peak facing our entrance, as well as you can easily bounce a nade off it to kill anyone standing outside. Very good for door campers. For embracers, I would probably just go with a default one like this, or honestly maybe even just leave it open. We're also going to add this on top, which will be pretty nice for taking heli, but I would recommend upgrading it to something else such as Brutalist, making it very nice to shoot through, as well as having a lot of cover as it's so thick right here. And you can peek raid bases and everything you might need from all 4 sides depending on where the raid base actually is. So once we're back upstairs, we'll start by adding down 2 frames inside of here, 2 windows facing out right here, and then we have to make sure that we add these 2 frames right here made out of metal to support the frames I'm about to add. Now we'll add on a frame right here, a frame here, and a floor right here, making it just like that. And once we have it like that, we'll continue the peak that we are definitely not overusing for this base. Now it's same as earlier, it's up to your own liking whether you want to do it like that. I like it because fobs are usually high up and the raid base won't be able to see you because the fob is going to be like here. They can barely see you. If they're here, they can't see you. If they're here, they can't see you. If they're here, they can't see you. So it's up to you. It gives you nice peaks to crouch from looking out. But if you open it up like this, obviously, as you can see, no matter where the raid base is, they will have an angle to shoot you. So that is entirely up to you if you want to do it or leave it somewhere else. But once we have it, we obviously want to place our small boxes inside of this little window right here on both sides, and then place the embracer facing inwards just like we did earlier. This one, like we agreed on, we're going to leave open. But what we could do to secure this area better is to place down 2 shotgun traps right here, 2 facing in, and of course 1 facing down. The 2 facing in is going to be your defenders to control your China wall, and the 1 facing down is just going to demolish people outside. So once that is all in order, we'll continue on building. What we could do here, if you really wish to, is to add down these half walls right here, making the peak only peek out in one direction. But personally, I like the way it looks. It looks kind of weird from the outside, but it is very sustainable and good for raid defenses. So once we got that in order, we'll put a ceiling on top of these that we can simply leave out of stone. And then we'll add a single door right here and a single door right here. Once we got that far into it, all we got to do now is add 1 window and then 2 walls right here and fully enclose this little room inside of here. With this room fully enclosed, we have a decision to make. This window is really nice and it's good for peeking in. But if raiders gain control over this area, you are fucked. They will control your base from this little area. It looks nice from the inside, it looks nice from the outside, but it might be against your own best interests. I personally like it and I will keep it, but it is up to you. But putting it as a single wall instead makes it so you have to struggle your way out of here, but at least it is safe against raiders. Having peaks facing your base from a China wall has its costs. I like it though, so I will be building it. But if you are worried, you can always just make it into a better window instead, making it less likely for raiders to gain control. And then we're going to add down 2 single doors right here to get into this area, like so. Make sure that it is airlocked. And inside of here, there's plenty of rooms to fit a couple of beds. We'll put down a bed right here, and we'll put down a bed right here. If we want to, we can always squeeze in a couple of sleeping bags as well, just to make sure that we get the most players on all 4 sides of the base. So put down a sleeping bag for everyone, or better yet, put the sleeping bag in the airlock so we can put the small box for the peak. Putting the sleeping bag inside of the airlock instead gives you 4 respawn points on each side of your base. So whoever gets bed on this side gets sleeping bag on that side. Whoever gets sleeping bag on that side gets bed on that side. You know what I'm saying? Everyone will have multiple bed respawns. And then all we gotta do is place down a nice little small box right here if this server could stop being shit, which it won't. So let me, okay, holy. Place a small box right here to get a nice little peek facing outside like we just discussed. And by crouching on it, as you can see, you have some crazy angles. Make sure to lock every box you place in these areas, and if you are worried about this getting naded, which I would be if I were you, because raiders will see you using it, I would recommend placing a window and then putting a hammer in the box and picking it up whenever you need to. I'd rather do that than raiders standing here with nades and just blowing up your beds from outside. So with that being said, our China wall is finished. As you can see, it is a lot smaller than the original kingdoms. That's why this base is a mini. The base is smaller, everything is smaller, but it's very effective and kind of meta-based towards the new building techniques that people have requested me to do. So once we're ready to start sealing it in, we'll start by adding a nice little twig floor right here. And then we're going to add down embracers. Make sure it's a tiny gap, not as close as I just did right there, because it is likely that you will get cut by it entering and leaving this peak. So make sure that there is just a tiny little gap. And then all we want to do is just simply build it all the way around. Same on this side, make sure that there's a tiny little gap and then fit one right next to it afterwards, like so. Sure that when you place it, you make it a little gap, same as we did earlier. You kind of want the foot right there. You kind of want the foot down bottom left to reach the very end, and that should help you out. So by making it reach the very end like so, as you can see now, there is no way to squeeze through here physically whatsoever. As well as over here, there is nowhere to squeeze through anywhere. People will have to climb or jump over. On top of here as well, it's going to be very easy. We'll start by adding down these 2 and then just build one as far out as we possibly can. Same over here, as far out as we can. And then this middle one will be rotated like so, making the China wall fully defendable and impossible to climb over. But at this point, if we haven't already, which I haven't, I would recommend upgrading ceilings to metal, at least to protect you a little bit from soft-siders, MLRS, and all the juicy things this game has to offer. Now, we are obviously over exceeding 12 turrets that's on the server, so you can start by placing just 4 of these, so skip this one and this one, just 4 on each corner. But having busting turrets like this one in the compound isn't necessarily a bad thing. Raiders are going to enter your compound, you're going to be forced to break a couple of turrets. They'll break this one, meaning that one is still off, and then they'll break this one, meaning that one turns on. But having too many turrets in your compound and having some bust isn't always a bad thing, because by the time some of them breaks, at least some will still be functioning. But if you are going to do that, you have to make sure that at least some of them are placed well and still working. So like this one busting is not a bad thing. Now, if we remove both the roof turrets and the roof turrets are busting, then we kind of have a problem. So make sure to place them in order to where having secondary turrets. So like this one, this one, this one, and this one should be secondary turrets. So I'm not going to place them yet. I'll place them when we're all done. And besides that, we also have plenty of room for large furnaces in this compound. So we'll start by placing down 4 large furnaces as close to the wide gaps right here as we possibly can. Make sure to place it as close as you can there instead of right there or over here, because we want to make sure the turret still has good visibility. At this point, it's time to build the shooting floor up, and I'm going to toggle symmetry. So once we are ready to build the shooting floor, we'll start by building everything 1 story taller, and then 2 story taller, but excluded the middle one. The middle one will be a window like so. And on the window, we don't need to put an embracer yet, but in the future, I would put an embracer like so. So with that all being placed, we'll start by building a couple more frames right here, by building these 2 stories tall, and then we're going to build them half a story tall, and then put a floor right there. And then we can put down triangle frames right there, triangle frames here, 2 triangle frames right here, a triangle here, and triangle here, giving us plenty of pixel peaks to shoot through on our shooting floor. But if you want even more peaks, just do this. People have their opinions about pixel peaks. Personally, I love them because it's nice to hold super tight angles from the breaches that you can, and we will also have door peaks on the corners that we're going to do something funky with in a second. But having pixel peaks has its pros and cons. You either like them or you don't. There's really nothing more to say. Add down these 3 windows right here, as well as embracers. Frame in the middle, upgraded to metal, and put down 2 beds inside of each one of these bedrooms. Put a floor right here, a door right here, and add down yet another brutalist heli peak right here. Both good for fobs as well as heli taking, as we mentioned earlier. Make sure to put a door here to make sure that these bedrooms are safe. And on the window facing out at least, I would recommend putting a physical window so fobs can't spawn camp your beds. They can still do it from the sides, but the front one is harder to do. Next up, we're going to add windows on every single corner as so, and of course place embracers on everyone facing out. Now this is very important, assuming you're building this on PC. If you're building on console, you're just going to have to put a single door here and only leave it as 1. But if you are on PC, you will be able to go into your screen settings and put your max FPS to 20, making it look something like this. Go on this side right here, and you might have to practice this, but if you place this one and this one right here super fast, they'll both place like so. This can only be done on very low FPS. You might be able to do it on console as well, but sadly I don't know. Now if you turn your FOV up, FPS up, this is physically, it's supposed to be a lot less impossible than that, but it helps a lot putting your FPS down. I guess I'm just a goat. Putting your FPS down to 20 will help you a lot, but I guess that means it is possible on high FPS too. I think it might have something to do with my connection and having high ping. But even if we have built both of these, we have to make sure that we put the actual single door down just to get a nice little wall off right here. All we gotta do now is place down a wall right here, a wall right here, a double door, as well as another double door right here, which will now on 2 sides of the base, you can see we have some empty triangles. So I'm going to use symmetry on 2 sides here. We'll add a door from right here and a door from right here. And then we can put walls right here and walls right here and ceilings right here, giving us 2 cute little rooms that we can use as extra bedrooms for your 4 best PvPers. Now we can fit down a bed right here and a bed right here. The foot will stick out, but there's not much raiders can do about it unless they have shooting for control. If you want to, you can also squeeze in a small bag as well. All we gotta do now is put down a shelf inside of it, and per usual, place down boxes inside so we can put down some kits for ceiling and raid defense. So with that being said, all we gotta do with that is put down these doors, and as you can see, the foot is barely reachable, but it can be shot out. So keep that in mind when you place it. Once that is all good, we're going to put a ceiling on everything by adding down these 2 triangles, and then these, and then the triangles on the outside for the rest of the shooting floor. Do that across the entire roof. And then inside of here, I would recommend placing down this frame not here, but here, which will give you more stability for the shooting floor roof that we have above us. And then place down this one here, and this one here, and this one here. Now it is pixeled, so obviously make sure that you do it properly, because you can't place this one, for example, if you have placed this one. So make sure to build it correctly for stability. Our base now looks like this, and it's good to continue on building. So we're back on our roof coming up here as we have gotten this far, and it's time to keep building. So once we are up on the roof, I'm going to use symmetry on all 4 sides, and we'll start by adding down these 3 frames, a low wall, floor, and 2 more floors right here. We can then add low walls right here facing out, a vending machine right here facing out of our actual base, meaning all we got to do is place the vending machine, 2 walls right here, 2 walls here, window, window, and a double door right here, and 2 more frames for more stability. We'll add down this wall right here, because my bed there. And then we place down 2 beds right here, and 2 right here, and 2 on this corner as well. I would just go with a large box right here for kits to defend from, and if we really want to, we could airlock it up here as well. Now we're going to add embracers right here, but make sure that they're facing into the actual bedroom. And then we're going to add down frames like so, and this right here, and then seal it off the same way we did earlier. And if we want to, we could put small boxes in here instead of using the large box. Now personally, I don't like having too much metal facing out to make it look weaker for raiders to raid me more. So I will leave this as stone, the ones facing out. If you want to, you could obviously upgrade it to metal to your own liking, but I'm going to leave it like that, giving us beautiful peaks inside of these bedrooms facing in just like so. Now once we're this far into it, we're closing in on being finished. All we got to do now is build down these frames right here, triangle here, a frame right here, and then build this on top of it like so, which will be for a nice little turret pod. Put your turret inside of this, and then we'll put a chain link here and chain link fences around it, giving us amazing turret pods on the roof that's very hard to break for raiders on the outside of our base. Now with that all being placed, we have a lot of turret visibility. If you need more windmills at this point, I would recommend using 2 of these for windmills and at least 2 of them for SAM sites. Personally, I would use all 4 for SAM sites, but if you need more windmills, use 2 of these guys for windmills, and then the last 2 for SAM sites. You only need 3 SAM sites to defend the base, so this would be a great fix as well. By placing 1 SAM site in the middle and then 2 SAM sites up high, we should have full SAM site visibility. The problem with this base, the only problem I really have, is sealing up this middle area, because it's very hard to properly defend it and properly seal it in because of this door peak we have right here. Now with symmetry back on all 4 sides, we'll start by sealing in the last piece of the roof. Add a half wall right here, as well as a window, half wall and a window, as well as a floor right here. Upgrade the floor to metal, and then make an embracer look out just like so. And then we'll add down these 2 roof pieces right here, which we'll get upwards right here to look down, as well as trying to secure this breach we have right here, which there really isn't much we can do about. But with that being said, we have a lot of angles looking in and out, and if you feel like there's too many angles making you feel like a glass house, I would recommend removing these 2 and just turning them into walls like so, making it a lot more secure, and it's not as much of a glass house. And then on this wall right here, I would put down some drop boxes that we can use from when we're coming with our heli that we can automate down to our open core, making it look something like this. And with that being said, the base is completely finished. We got some beautiful bedrooms. The only thing I wish I could do slightly better would be the roof, but in my opinion, this base is amazing. I have reworked and redone the kingdom since 2020, and it is still one of my favorite bases to build and live out of, and this version might be my new favorite as it is cheaper and has a lot of meta peaks that you guys have requested. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I will see you guys in 30 days.